Hello, everyone. Welcome to What's on Your Mind. We decided to hop on and have a little fun playing today. So hopefully we'll have people hopping on with us because this was a very unexpected thing that we did. So I'm going to bring all four of us up. And one of the things that we like to do is talk about astrology. Oh, there's Deborah. Hi, Deborah.
Yay! Hi, Deborah.
Yay. Yay. So one of the things we do like is astrology and to talk about astrology and we were just saying that there was some energy that's been going on, especially like last night and today. And so, what do you guys feel about this energy that's been going on? And Denise pointed out that we were having a grand air trine, so you have all of that energy going on in the chart. So that would be that was and Venus in a trine with Pluto, which is potent enough as it is. And then what was the other thing that would be Pluto and Aquarius? And what's in Gemini at the end of Gemini then? No, that would
Uranus,
be,
no?
it would be,
Or Neptune. Uranus or Neptune, one of the two.
let me look. So I keep thinking that's also Sedna, people. That's Sedna, you know? So let me take a look at.
What makes weird dreams? Because that's what I've been having. Really intense weird dreams where I wake up and I'm like, am I still in my reality or am I in a different timeline?
It's Uranus and Gemini.
And Uranus and Gemini.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that there's something else. What is your 12th house, Ruby? What is your ascendant?
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Well, you got a lot of stuff in Scorpio. Hecate's there. Hecate's in Scorpio. Mars is in Scorpio. Mercury's in Scorpio. So
yeah, that probably explains it.
And you've got I'm thinking too with Jupiter, Jupiter being in Cancer, and you also have Saturn in Pisces.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Saturn
in Pisces would be the weird dreams.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just depending upon the houses. So that's your first. So that what is it? That would make Cancer your 10th house.
I don't know.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Cancer in the 10th house, so I have to love my work.
I like the way that she says kind of like I have to love my work.
I have to. I'm telling you, it has to have meaning. I have quit jobs because I'm like, I'm not. What's my purpose? I'm not. What is it?
Feeling fulfilled.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything for society or the community, or it's like there's no purpose. I quit a really good job. I was like thinking after now that I think about it, it was like that was dumb.
But are you happier?
I'm good. But well, I am now. But there was a time that I wasn't.
Yeah, and
that's
what
when
was the motivation?
That's when I quit the government contractor. I was working at March Air Base. I was an archivist. I used to archive military photographs and videos. I did the 936-minute Reagan funeral and the over 1,000 minutes for the Ford funeral. So, I mean, that's what I was doing. And then I decided, oh, I want to go into corrections. So, yeah.
Oh.
Because I wanted to contribute to society. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. But
so now I'm contributing to the collective.
Now you're contributing to the collective. Right. And learning new skills. So astrology is now your new thing that you're exploring in depth even more. So
yeah.
How do you feel about it? I mean, what interests you about it?
I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with it only because I'm doing a lot more things with it. I'm still not calling myself an astrologer. I don't feel like I'm an astrologer. I think I'm calling myself an astrology intuitive. And cosmic guide, because I can find something and work with that. I don't I mean, I guess I can go into somebody's chart and try to figure it out, but it's going to take me a long time because I don't know it like it. But I want to apply it to, like, my thing is why. why is this happening? Why am I feeling so overwhelmed? Why am I not comfortable right now? Why is nothing working out for me? And then I can look at the chart and be like, well, duh, because whatever, right?
Right.
Is affecting this or that in my chart. So that's what I'm doing. And then I started I'm still working on it, but the Today in Astrology, which is like what's going on, and it's more of a lighthearted comedic type thing where, you know, you get the zodiac signs to like kind of give you a lighthearted version of how they're dealing with that energy. And then my other new thing is when I do a reading, I'm giving you a prescription for cosmic sanity. So you guys check out my channel. But yeah, I'm just rebranding, and you know, I'm having fun with it. And Ruby and we just crack up. I mean, it's hilarious.
You go
And
into
Morgan too. Morgan's a little quiet, but she's in there.
Yeah.
She's just a Scorpio, right? So has to be a little bit hidden for a little while, and then she'll come out.
but Scorpios are all about that research. I
Mhm.
mean, they're all about digging in and finding out the research and the story and everything. I mean, that's a really and we had that come up with Denise a couple times where she knew a specific date that was significant for her, and we went back and looked up the date, and you found it right away. You were like, oh,
Everything was lit up that day.
yeah.
And it was the day that I stopped speaking. My sister, my half sister from my mother, my real mother, she and I were we weren't raised together, but we were trying to rebuild a life together. And I love my sister. I still love her, but I don't talk to her anymore because we had that big blowout. She's just very selfish. And the hardest part for me was that everybody was telling me, she's gaslighting you, she's gaslighting you. And I was like, no. And yeah, sure as shit. So anyway, we had a big blowout that day. And when we looked at my chart that day, everything was just like bam, 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 bam. So it was like, it's like the universe was trying to show me here and show me there and show me. All of a sudden it's like, okay, you're not going to listen. So here you go. Bam. Because somebody was saying, oh, I don't know how you can not talk to your sister anymore. I'm like, because she's toxic. That's why.
I think a lot of us that are empaths and healers, and you know, right now we all are experiencing that. Like that story is similar to mine. You know, like I think that it's part of the soul contract thing. You know?
Is that your sister?
Yeah. I feel like I have like a past riddled with like karmic relationships, and some of them are like family members. Some of them I as well have like an issue with one of my siblings. You know, during COVID, I felt like I was being pursued by like the COVID Nazis. And so it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And, you know, just certain energies that you're like, you shouldn't feel this way in a family dynamic. And now that I'm going through, like, I understand, like my North Node, South Node, like Dawn was explaining that, you know, because I've got that North Node in Libra, a lot of my lessons as well have been about my relationships. And I have like a couple of exes that were so karmic, you know, and so now today, because of astrology and like the readings and understanding, I don't blame myself as much, or like I'm not hard on myself, because I'm like, you know, this is the blueprint. And I literally went to like a priest at one time, and I was like, what do I do about this relationship? I feel terrible. And he's like, just maintain your distance. You know, sometimes we change and we're evolving, and those people are just, they stay in a certain, or they want to keep you in that same role or that same family dynamic as like the scapegoat or whatever. And we're shifting, evolving, changing. And it's like, no, sorry. Like, I'm not going to stay in that mold anymore.
I was the scapegoat too. I am the scapegoat. So the black sheep, I guess, is what I used to call it. But
and sometimes I think those black sheeps are the cycle breakers in the family.
We are, yeah, because I definitely was the breaker of my maternal side. And that is why my maternal grandmother, is the one that comes to me as a cardinal. She's the one that that I have communication with, because she had a lot of guilt when she was here. She died when I was 19, and she had a lot of guilt. And she told me she was sorry about my mother, who's the prime, somebody with extreme narcissistic tendencies, we'll say, on the spectrum of, whatever.
Which shows up. It does. It showed up.
Yeah, it's in my chart. It's in my chart.
Mhm.
But my grandmother didn't know how to deal with it. Like, she didn't know how. They were farmers. They had limited education. They had limited emotional skills. And it's like, at that time, it's like, people are doing the best they can with the skills they have and with, what they're trying to do. And so, I think that she is my main familial guide for a reason, because she is helping me, because that was my role. As I think that there was a couple rounds around the barn with my family trying to do this, and I was actually the one that did it, but my entire family basically cut me off. So I have, because I spoke up, because I said the truth. And so for me, it was a huge thing, and it's on my chart. Taurus in the 7th house is my Chiron. And my son, I think it's my son, right, Dawn? On my birth chart, where, it's like abandonment, and where I was an orphan, emotional orphan.
Yeah. And I'll have to look back at that too. But I think one of the things that happened and has been happening is with that air grand trine Uranus is conjunct Sedna within 2 degrees, and had been, very close to that. Sedna is about betrayal. Sedna was betrayed. And one of the people that has written a lot about Sedna, he was talking about her and saying, you can't solve the Sedna problem. There was no safety in the boat. There was no safety with her spouse. There wasn't anything for her. There was, and when she tried to, he tells a story of how when she hung on, her father chopped off her fingers one at a time, as opposed to just all at once. And he said, so after the first finger gets chopped off, maybe she should have let go then. And I was like, oh. And then what she did is released it. And she then chose to dive deeper into the ocean. And that is when she became a goddess. And she then had her fingers turned into the sea creatures. And she became the person of the water and the ocean. And Denise actually talked to her when she was on her cruise with that energy. But I think that's what some of the things that we're learning is that those toxic relationships, there is no fixing them.
No, but it also pushed me into being more spiritual, because when you have nowhere to turn but to your higher power, because I was a counselor and I was always helping people and stuff. But when it came to myself, it just pushed me into this dark night energy that turned me to tarot and turned me to just everything that made me go deeper. And it's what helped mold me into, I kind of view myself as like Empress energy. It pushed me into that energy and has allowed me to go there and stay there and, try. And now it's like, I would never take it back. I wouldn't want to experience it again. And I've long forgiven everyone and understand that this was all preordained, and it's good. I'm good. Like, I don't feel anything. I don't feel any negativity or anything. I really did let it go and have been able to do that, which is crazy, because when you experience things from very young, like very, very young, it's really ingrained in who you are, and to be able to do that has been a lot of deep work. But at the same time, that's why I am who I am now. I love that. And for my kids, it's totally different. So I don't carry those same woundings, and I'm able to be there for them in a way that, and I have special needs kids, so I'm able to be there for them in a way where I'm like, able to experience them. If they would have been in my original family dynamic, they would have not been treated well. So, but I'm able to be there for them in this amazing different way. Yeah, Venus is saying going through the darkest place in my life made me find happiness from within. That's exactly it. It's like you find yourself in that darkness. And my relationship with self has changed, how I view myself and see myself, because like Morgan was saying, you feel like guilty because, you know, you have relationship issues because of the way you're brought up, or, you know, patterns with the family and all that other stuff. And it's like, you can release that knowing that it was, you can see it in your chart. You know, so it's not like we don't take responsibility for what we need to work on or anything like that, but it changes my perspective.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes me feel more empathetic as well. Like I had an experience like where I was in an abusive marriage, and I ended up for a couple of weeks having to stay in a women's shelter. This was like quite a few years ago. And it was like a couple weeks before Christmas, and we left, we came back to the house, and then my family was at my sister's place, and it was like I wasn't invited over. But like years before that, they were like, at Christmas time, it was so important for everybody to give donations to like the women's shelter and like single mothers in need. And I was just like, you know, you forgive, but you definitely, I won't forget things like that. And I love them and I send them love, and I'm in contact with some, but they were also like they moved, like they live 8 hours away now. So, you know, now I realize that this like home that I live in, and I have 3 children, and I have a safe environment for them. And like my house is fun, and there's warm food, and the bills are paid, and everybody is spoiled, and we get what we want and then some. And even sometimes like I've got kids staying over the night, you know, because it's a safe place to hang out. And I love that I can give that back, you know. And I try now, like, unless I've walked a mile in somebody else's shoes, I have absolutely no right to judge where they're coming from, you know. And sometimes like the kids that stay over, they don't want to go home, you know, because the house is comfortable and safe, and you know, they sleep well and stuff here. And so I just am trying to maintain that, like that energy for other people now. Yeah.
It's healing for your inner child to be able to create an environment that you wanted for yourself, you know, and that's what I try to do, is create that for people in my life and everything too, where it's like, what better way to be able to give it to other people when you know exactly what you were missing, you know? And so like, yeah, you're creating that within your world.
Wow, you guys are bringing up all kinds of stuff. But what I want to say about what Ruby just said is, when I was in the military, you know, you get treated a certain way, right? I mean, like you get dogged out when you're in basic training, and then, you know, when you go to your unit and whatever. And I was a drill sergeant too. So, you know, I had my fun too. So, but what I wanted to say, what Ruby was just talking about, is when you get promoted and you get to a certain leadership role, like you become a platoon sergeant or a squad leader or a first sergeant or whatever, I always tried to not do what I didn't like that somebody else had done, because I didn't like it. Why am I going to put somebody else through it, right? So we would get a new commander or a new first sergeant or something, and they'd just be a total dick, right? And I'm like, why are you doing that? Well, that's just, you know, that's what happened to me. And I said, did you like it? Did you enjoy that? Well, no. I said, exactly. So why are you doing that? You know, be better than they are. You know, even when I was a parole agent, my parolees, as hard as I was on them, because I was very accountable, and if I said something, I followed through, they wanted to be on my caseload, even though they knew that I was going to figure out what they were doing wrong and I was going to violate them or do whatever. When I would go on vacation, or, you know, I had surgery on my arm, I was out for a little while, and one of my fellow agents was like, "Oh my God, Denise, your parolees are so respectful." I said, "Yeah, because they know better, because when I come back and I find out that they were talking crap or were disrespectful, I'm going to lay on them, and I'm going to make it hard for them so they know better. So you just, like what's that? I used to have all these sayings that I lived by, but like treat others like you expect to be treated, like Ruby said, do unto others, right? I don't want to be treated like crap, so why am I going to treat somebody else like crap? It's and the way we talk about it, it's what is it, karma, right? It comes back to you. So I don't know. It's a lot. And then the light at the end of the tunnel, my sister, the one that I don't talk to anymore, she used to like, oh my God, you and your rosy disposition, because things would happen. I'd be like, well, at least it wasn't blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, that's so dumb. I'm like, no, that I have to do that because this was crap. This was dark. This was whatever. So I need to find something that's going to keep me from falling in that hole, right? Some little root that I can hang on to so I don't fall deeper into whatever it is. So I'm sure she's miserable, God help her. So, but anyway,
Well, she's got her own journey,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's the way I view it too. For Willow, I got did I get this card for you before, Willow? The realization card. I don't know if I did, because I know I just recently pulled that. I'm not going to read it, but I'm just going to intuitively read it, not just read out of the book. I feel like for you, again, there's this doorway energy here, and you're looking out into a new place, a new world, a new existence. But the tarot card that I got with it is the Ace of Wands in reverse. So there's like, when I get the Ace of Wands in reverse, I do read reversals. I view that as like a match that kind of starts something that started, but it kind of blew out. Okay. You haven't had that card. Okay. I just know that I've recently pulled that on our lives. And so I feel like you're looking at this, or you soon will be. But whatever this was, there's going to be a realization that it wasn't something that could be built together. There's some kind of conflict about that with the Five of Wands, some sort of other people's involvement. This could be some sort of conflict. And with the Seven of Cups in reverse, I think there's going to be realizations about that. So that's right there as a realization. Okay, so I feel like you're going to be looking into stepping out of this, whatever it is, because it's just not working for you as it is right now. And I'm not sure if you're going to try to relight a match somewhere else, or if you are just going to walk away from this current thing, because it doesn't look great. And I think whatever it is, it's not, with the Four of Swords in reverse, I always get that as like not healing, not being able to really move on from it. I feel like it's going to be something that almost makes you feel agitated until you get it resolved. So I'm not sure if when I'm creating safety for my daughters and how I can move forward that assists both. Okay. In what ways am I creating? Well, it seems like, I don't know if this is related to the energy that I'm pulling here, but there's definitely some sort of conflict energy and something that's not cooperative and not building. So there's a realization being had for you in your upcoming energy.
Ask for the cards again.
Huh?
She said, can you tell me the cards again, please?
Yes, ma'am. It was the realization card with the Ace of Wands in reverse. So to me, the aces are like the number one. So it's like the start to something that didn't get off the ground. Okay. And then I got Three of Pentacles in reverse, which to me is not collaborating, not building, not cooperating. Okay. Five of Wands, which is conflict, competition, backbiting, changes. To me, it's not usually a very serious energy in terms of, like, Five of Swords to me is really is a lot, I guess, worse. Five of Wands is more like argumentative to me. Okay. But I feel like there's some sort of confusion that is going to be cleared up with this realization, because when you get this in the reverse, it's like you have all these choices, all these options, all this confusion, but there's something that's being realized. Okay, so there is a realization here. I don't know if you're going to revisit whatever this is, or maybe this is what we're talking about, where there's been something in your past. And I am actually seeing right now, there is a little girl here, and you're saying your daughters. So I don't know if this is relating to that now. They're pointing that out to me. And there's energy coming off of this girl. I'm seeing it. Okay, as you shake your head, yes. Okay, so I think you know what I'm talking about with that.
Okay, so Aditi, I hope I say that right, had a question. When will I be expecting good things in my love life and career? So I'm using the Soul's Journey Oracle. And two cards came out when I was shuffling. The first one was humor. And it says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And the second one was fear. It says, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So I'm going to read the humor card. And it says, there are definitely parts of life that require your serious attention, but you have to learn to have fun. Don't neglect things that bring you joy or make you laugh. Besides the health benefits of your physical body, your emotional and mental bodies reap huge rewards from the art of joy. And God, yeah, I know that. I mean, I laugh all the time, and I just feel so much better after I laugh. In fact, the other night, I couldn't sleep, so I was on I don't know if it was TikTok or whatever, and there's this lady, she was posting like autocorrect from the from your phone, and they were so freaking funny, like, you know, having sexual things sent to your parents, and oh my God, I was dying laughing. And my girlfriend, she's like, can you like leave or stop laughing? Because I guess I was shaking the bed because I was just cracking up so bad. But anyway, okay, so that was humor, and then let's go to fear. And this says, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So this could be answering both questions. So let's see. The outcome of all choices in life is determined by two emotions, fear and love. Your soul is made of the energy of love, and fear is an earthly manifestation of a challenge. To embrace and wallow in fear is to go against your very being. Fear, in its many guises, is the obstacle that your soul uses to test its tenacity to stay on track. For a soul, human life can be very difficult, but acknowledging that your soul's true nature is love will always help you on your path. So fear is like us, right? We're afraid. It's like we don't want to take that chance, but what if it doesn't happen the way we want it to? You know, like even when we manifest, if we ask for something and then we're like, but what if it comes back and that's not what I want, right? So fear, we can overcome our fear, but we have to trust the universe and trust our intuition. What are we telling ourselves? So as far as your career and your love, I would say find the joy in both of those things and trust your intuition. Don't rely on your fear. Take that chance. You know, what is it? That 3, 2, 1 jump. You know, take the risk. Without risk comes no reward, right? So we have to do that. So I hope that answers your question, Aditi. I hope that helps.
I had a few cards for Karen. If you want, I can. She's just talking about trying to build a safe place for herself and find herself in some fear. It takes over. Okay, how can she best support herself? So the cards that came out was, and right away off this one, I'm pulling from the Denise Lynn Soul Coaching, and I got this Miracles card. And right away, oh my gosh, like there are so many of these sweet little cherubs. Your ships are coming in. Okay. Things feel rocky. Like this water, this boat is like on a little bit of, there's some waves going on here. Okay. But very protected because there's a lot of angels around that boat, even though I feel like the storms are like very emotional storms. But things are starting to blossom. I feel like there's a portal opening up. Okay. And then I got a lot of gratitude. Okay. So sometimes if you find yourself like getting overwhelmed with fears, they're like, try to reverse this with gratitude. Start like looking at something. Say, for example, like, I'm grateful that I have my eyesight. I'm grateful I can, I can breathe, things like this, just very basic, simple things. And it says, miracles occur in your life every day. Watch for and embrace them. As you notice and accept the small wonders in your life, greater gifts will grow in abundance all around you. Your soul wants you to know, expect miracles. Praise and celebrate them when they appear, no matter how small. Be open to allowing the Creator to solve challenges for you in mysterious and wonderful ways. Trust that everything is unfolding graciously and perfectly in your life, and let go of fear and doubt. Don't limit the way that miracles can appear in your life by having expectations. Be open for them to appear from sources beyond your imagination. And then there's an affirmation that says, my life is a miracle. Okay. So sometimes when I've been going through really stormy times in my life, the thing that kind of kept me going was like, you know what, this is an experience, and someday I'm going to be able to use this to help someone else. Okay. Because I got through this, and just have this faith. And then after that, I had the Ace of Swords. So everything that this card was talking about is the truth. All right. The other thing is, this is like a big time in your life. It's time just to, like, the universe is trying to get your attention on something where maybe you just need to like, I don't know if you're meditating, praying, something like this. But it's also time for you to kind of like stand up for yourself and step into your power here. Like what Denise was talking about, feel the fear and do it anyway. There's a masculine energy that I saw around you here, and I don't know why, but they're wanting you to kind of like, I didn't really like the energy I picked up on this masculine energy. I don't know if this is somebody who kind of dangles money over you, or is, and normally I don't get this off of the King of Pentacles. At first I wanted to think this was supportive energy, but it could be supportive. I don't know what your situation is, but the card beside it came up as this Seven of Pentacles. So sometimes if you're putting your time, money, energy, and effort into other individuals' dreams or the wrong people, you can kind of sense that fear, like, oh, I don't feel like this is going to turn out right. So sometimes there's positive fears that are protecting you from putting too much of your time, energy, or you're placing things in the wrong people, places, or things. Okay. So that can be a warning, like a warning light from spirit coming out. And they really want you to stand up for yourself. Okay. As well. Sometimes that fear can be put in place because, like, that serenity prayer is coming to mind. Like, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, or stand up and have courage to change the things that I can. So there could be somewhere where you just need to push back on something and take good care of yourself so that you can prove to yourself, like, you know what? I don't need to depend on anybody. I can depend on myself. I can take care of myself because I'm aligned with my prayer and meditation. And you're finding an inner source of power at this time. Okay. So I hope that helps, Karen.
And I wanted to do a reading for Deborah. It was very interesting. And I actually felt compelled to pull tarot instead of oracle cards. And the first thing that kind of fell out was the Seven of Swords reversed. So I know that you were talking, I saw in your question that you were saying that you're having problems getting your diploma information. And on the bottom of the deck, I got this Queen of Swords energy. So it's like, trust your intuition. And we do have, this is a new thing coming up for you. The other reason I'm thinking in the back of my mind is that I have Deborah in my astrology class. And one of the things we talked about is that there's a trine going on in her chart who's going to have Mercury retrograde going on. And that I had an anticipation that she would have problems getting some of that stuff done, but that the trine is going to make sure that it all works out in the end. Just keep at it, keep pushing, keep moving forward, and trying to get that diploma information, and see what you can do about that. But so with that in the back of my mind and pulling these cards, this new journey that you're going to be going on, and then the Four of Cups that came out. Some people think, oh, the Four of Cups is, 3 cups are spilled and 1 remain. But the one that is remaining is the one that is offered to you by the universe. So even when you think, oh, this isn't working out, this isn't working out, this isn't working out, there is going to be something else that comes in that is going to be better because of it. So I think keep doing what you need to do to get the information that you need. The other card that came out kind of as an after card was this King of Cups. Now, we had the Queen of Cups come out, and so they're divine counterparts. I think that you are going to get help from someone, and trust that that person is going to come through for you. But again, be affirming in the things that are, look at the things going right instead of the things going wrong, because where you put your focus is where your energy goes. So think about that. But I really do feel like we, in the end, all of that will work out fine, but Mercury is entering its shadow this week. So it's going to be things coming up. And then when it gets done with its shadow, then it'll be better. But I do feel like there's things here saying you're going to be fine, that in the end, everything's going to work out for you. And I'm feeling like my throat chakra is tight. So I'm not sure what that's about. So I don't know if someone's trying to take your voice away, but don't give up. Don't give up. So go ahead.
All right. I'm reading for Venus, who was asking about a new career idea. I don't see the exact message, but and asking if it's going to be successful. So I got the card of presence. So what's important for you right now is to be present in the present moment. So it's funny because it's talking about rumination about the past or longing for the future. Like, is this going to be successful? So Spirit's like, stop it. Your life is happening right now, and when you're not present for it, you miss all of its beauty. But you're working on this together, and you're supposed to have faith because it is aligning you for something important. Okay, so it's actually getting you in alignment here. So I think that as you're saying, you're working on completing whatever this is. And when I asked the tarot about it, we got the Knight of Wands. So it's something that is really lighting your fire. Something that you're going after, that you're like, oh yeah, I'm really into this. I'm really interested in this. And that's me. It's funny. And then I got the Ace of Wands in the upright this time with the Six of Pentacles. So this is going to be very reciprocal energy. So this, again, Ace of Wands, to me, I always see that as like magic wand energy. So with the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Wands, you're creating something that's reciprocal. You're creating something that is giving to others. And whatever that is, it's like I'm seeing it going into the collective. Now, the underneath energy is interesting because I got the Justice card for you. So it's almost like this new career path or whatever you're turning your gaze towards, yes, it's going to be beneficial to others as long as you're having faith and you're staying in your own alignment. But it's almost like there's something from your past that this is creating justice about. So I don't know if it has to do with your life path in some way or something that you've experienced. And I saw that with a King of Swords in reverse here. So, I don't know if it is the masculine, but somebody who is in the King of Swords reverse type energy. So there's some sort of karmic justice related to an individual from the past that I think is being balanced out as part of this whole thing, that it doesn't seem directly related, but it's somehow being gifted to you as a result of this. So, and you're very passionate about it. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So that's what I got. Something about justice that is underneath the entire thing. So when you get something in the underneath energy for me, it's something that you don't see, 5D type energy, subconscious type energy. So there's a knowing about whatever this is that is going to be justice for you.
Before you do what you're going to do, Dawn, Willow had asked a question and then she's like, well, maybe it's a little personal. So I just wanted to answer her. So yes, sometimes the readings that we do or the cards that we pull, they might resonate with everybody because there might be a little bit in each of those messages that resonates for each of us. And then she was like, well, this is kind of personal. So I pulled a card for you, Willow, from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. And the card that came out was number 5, Psychic Development. And look at the swan and look at the sun. And so to me, that's saying that things are just coming along, and these feelings that you're having about all this clicking with you is exactly what needs to be happening. And you need to trust that, and that fear thing is coming up again. I think because we've been talking about a lot of our own fears that we were dealing with, that we're breaking through, and that stuff is hard, right? It's really hard to trust yourself. I know Ruby and I have had that conversation, like she was talking about, where you can ask me advice all day long, and I will tell you how to do it. But if it comes to me, I don't even take my own advice because I don't know. It's not that it wouldn't work.
True.
It's
So
just,
true.
It's just that's just who we are. I don't know. And again, it could be, the empaths or those of us in this collective that we just want to help others. It could be the Cancer, Libra. I don't know what the other sign is that Dawn always talks about for the helping people all the time. But this is a beautiful card, and it has like little growth on the bottom. There's like little seeds and little plants on the bottom for you, Willow. So I think you're just coming into your own. I mean, she's part of Dawn's class, and she participates all the time, and she's really trying to figure herself out and wonder, what is my astrology chart telling me about myself? I mean, I believe that the 4 of us that are on this screen have probably been through that, if we're not still going through that. So we totally understand where you're coming from, and just stay at it. I mean, I'm still growing, right? Like Dawn was talking about me and my astrology, right? I tried to put that away for a long time, but I can't do it anymore because it just keeps coming out no matter what I do. So I hope that helps. And so now, Dawn, you can. Sorry for interrupting.
No, not at all. I'm gonna drag my sister on screen because she is here, and I was laughing earlier. Yeah, because I kept calling. I would say Siri called Denise, and it kept calling Denise Spirit Dragon, and this is my sister. She's staying with me for a few days. So we've been. She has us up on the full screen, so I'm looking over here, seeing it on the big screen what we're doing, but.
And I'm trying to be a good house guest and fold her laundry for her. She's like, come here.
But I will say, and we've dealt with that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now that here's the fun part for you guys all to know. I went through a lot. She was a witness to it. And
I went through a lot, and you were witness to that.
And so I went through a husband that was cheating on me. I went through a divorce. I went through cancer. And then we're talking in the past 4 years, right? And selling the home that my children grew up in, and then having my son move away. My sons all moved away. That part was easy because they're adults and they're very good adults. But it's now I'm in the place where because I've done the work, and it was horrible to go through, and it was all happening at the same time. So what I have found,
and Dawn isn't normally one to share, so you had to kind of force it out of her a little bit. So yeah,
No way.
No.
But now I'm out there and I'm living my best life. I travel a lot. I get to go see my grandbaby.
Yes.
And I just am enjoying life so much. So you do the work, you get the healing, you walk away from things that no longer are yours anymore. And I was laughing this morning. I'm like, I don't care about as shitty as he behaved, I don't care about him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I am so much in a better place without him in my life. And the universe made sure that it got him out of my life. It shows up in my astrology chart that it did, that it's a place that I know everybody's going to get to. And it's not like we still don't have problems come up. It's not like we still don't have issues that take place. I mean, we have, we still all have sick parents or sick children or something, but we we keep moving forward, and we still get those parts that are our best lives that are coming through. And that is the energy of the things that we have going forward. I mean, we grew up with an alcoholic parent. Most of the people in his family were alcoholics.
Yep.
And so that was their normal. And we can definitely say neither of us nor any of our children are like that at all.
not at all.
We changed that so completely. So that's what, this group and especially the group that you guys are going to be doing tomorrow, and you guys should mention that again, that you're going to be doing something tomorrow. We are here as a support for the community, and we want to do more lives and get you more involved and teach you what you want to learn. So be open with us about what you would like to see more of, because we do want to open up conversations for people. How do I bring in spirituality every day into my life? Well, let's talk about it. And that's part of what's going on here. So thank you for coming in.
Yay.
And
And just,
on the hosting thing.
and just to follow up on the collective energy part, this is how I view it to work. So when we have collective energy, the reason why I think it's beneficial to listen to other people's cards that are being pulled is because you are part of this collective that we're building. We're tapping into that energy. So you're going to resonate with probably a lot, and you probably have a lot in common with the other people that are actually on the chat. And because we're tapping into a stream of energy, a collective that we're creating here. And so we've experienced a lot of the same things that you're experiencing now, or we're going to experience them. And the reason why we're here is because we're feeling called to be there for whoever we can. And you guys found us somehow. That is the way that it works, red string theory or whatever you want to call it, but we're tapping into your energy, and you are gonna resonate, and you're gonna know in your gut. So if you're listening to someone else's card that's being pulled and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling that in my gut, I'm feeling tingly, or I'm feeling whatever this is, that is an indicator that resonates for you. And I'm getting goosebumps. So that's how it works. And that's one of the ways you can learn to trust your intuition, is to keep yourself open to listening to what other people are experiencing, or what their energy that we're pulling for is saying. And then to bring it back around to self, because I know even for me, I will get off of a live and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that card we pulled for so-and-so, I'm going through that right now. And that really resonated, even just for me, because I'm a part of this as well. So I just wanted to and the more that we all, are talking and having more lives and doing all of these things together, the more that we're building our collective. And the more, so that's why, like when I do tarot readings and stuff, I'm like, just put an emoji in there. Because even just doing that will add to, it allows me, I'm an energy reader, and most of us are. That's how we have been trained. And so I can tap into the energy better, because I can feel your energy there. And then I'm like, okay. And then I'm able to get more downloads and get more messages. And it's going to become more powerful as we continue to grow. So that's just some of my random thoughts.
Okay, I think Morgan's going to go next.
Hi, sorry, I'm just looking at Aditi's cards, and with her question about the love interest. So I was seeing here, Aditi's kind of sitting there like thinking. He's sort of contemplating. I feel like this to me feels like, because after this I get the 7 of Cups. So he's like, this feels a little bit like cold feet about getting into a commitment. This is a little bit like the turning point. Like he's kind of just like, what do I do here? Spending a little bit of time alone, thinking about what his options are. Okay. This is why you feel like there's kind of like no reciprocation with the 6 of Pentacles. And it's not a coincidence that I'm pulling from these Twin Flame Awakened Path Tarot cards. All right. So I got the 6 of Pentacles, but it came up reversed. So this is why you're not feeling this like equal give and change, equal exchange. because he's sort of like pulling back a bit because he's just kind of like, so I would say, since this feels like could be possible, like mirrored soulmate, the twin flame word, you have to, it's like something I don't know if you're identifying with that journey, but they always talk about like, just pull your energy back, start focusing on yourself, work on yourself, try not to like put all this energy, like wondering, thinking, worrying, like on him. Is he going to call? Is he going to text? This type of thing. Okay. Like work on yourself. And I do see that like the sun is coming in. So this is a lot of happiness. I also see, like I have the Hierophant card. So a commitment coming in as well for you. And communication, it looks like there's going to be some communication, like you guys will have to sit down and maybe talk about something. And also then I see the Knight of Cups where he turns into kind of like the union comes back together again. And he feels like a sense of like, because you gave him some time to sort of just like simmer and think and not rushing to make a choice. Okay. So as well, if you pull back your energy, all right, because I wanted to clarify a little bit on this 7 of Cups. So this isn't exactly maybe walking away from the connection, but this is just like right now, like pull your energy back and don't be so like codependently immersed on like, I'll only be happy if, he wants to be in a commitment with me. Okay. So I hope that message helps.
Didn't you say something about that, Dawn, about Venus? Or we said it somewhere, or I heard it somewhere. That it could have been Ruby, or maybe even Morgan, that the divine feminine needs to just step back a little bit, and then the masculine energy will come in, because we tend to be pushed. Well, I say we, like I'm not very divine feminine all the time, but the feminine energy tends to be a little pushy sometimes, probably because we have more feelings and we want more, and maybe we can see more things. But we need to like kind of not be pushy and let those other people, like with children, right? Let them find their own way, as hard as it is for moms, right?
Ruby she had an amazing video. I watched her video. I don't know if it was on YouTube or TikTok, where she explains that whole dynamic of that twin flame. And which video was that? Do you remember?
It was on Friday's Lighthouse Tapestry reading.
So
I started out, and I'm going to be doing more of them for the Divine Feminine, because I feel like there's a lot of Divine Feminines that are working on alchemizing their energies. Okay, because a lot of us, including me, have had to work on that, because we're in masculine energy, we're in action energy. And the role of the divine feminine is to actually stay in sovereignty. It's staying in sovereignty about who you are, and it's staying in a certain energy that you're tapping into. So you're holding the energy for yourself. And this doesn't have to be for a specific person. Divine feminine, divine masculine energy is something that we can all master, working on that. So there's like monadic twin flames, where it's, you're just balancing your own masculine and feminine energy. But if you're too something or too in the other direction, you're not fully balanced, right? And so when it comes to twin flame situations, the role of the divine feminine is to be the energy of the divine feminine energy. So you're in receiving mode and you're not taking the action. You are the leader. You're the spiritual leader. And the divine masculine is the leader in the 3D. So they're the ones that take the action. They're the ones that are supposed to lead in the physical, in the, and so what the divine feminine energy, like what I am always trying to stay in, is to stay in the energy of the Empress. And so I always think about what she exhibits and who she is. And that's the energy to simply be in. And so I'm going to go into more of that when I do more readings. So I usually do my readings on Fridays. So I'm going to be doing some more divine feminine readings. This is this amazing, amazing energy to kind of geek out over that I love, because I see how it works and how things magnetize to you when you are in the proper energy. So it's about maintaining a certain vibration, but sovereignty as well. So we can talk more about that. What does sovereignty mean? Staying in your own energy, and then how you're dealing with the rest of the world, not just your divine masculine, but also how you're dealing with everyone in your life, and what does that sovereignty look like? Yeah.
And I could probably speak to that too, because I know that I had one of the things that happened for me is on the eclipse that happened on top of my black moon Lilith. So that so brought in high priestess energy, where it was definitely something where I'm like, I don't have to answer to anybody, and I am in my own strength and power. But the thing that I witnessed with other people is that all of a sudden it was like the surprise, right? And I didn't have to say anything. You just know. And trust me, I don't want a relationship right now with masculine, right? But I've been all of a sudden getting all this attention, and I'm like, no, go away. That's kind of like, I don't have time for you. Go. So, someone asks your number, and I'm like,
but Dawn, that's because you're in the energy of integration, and that's what ends up happening, is that then you're attracting all of that energy in, and so it seems so counterproductive. You're like, wait a minute, I don't need anyone. Why are they coming? Why are people coming to? I don't even want it.
Go away.
I have self-integrated, and I am masculine when I need to be, and I am receptive when I, and I'm trusting my intuition, and I'm connecting with spirit, and that's it. That's the zhuzh right there. And that's when people see that, then they're like, oh, what is that energy coming off of Dawn? Oh,
yeah. And what is she doing? What is she doing? I'm doing whatever the heck I want is what I'm doing. So it's, people are like, wow, you're out there living your best life. Yes, I am. But that's what I want to say. It's like, that is the energy. I'm not going out with that and masculine. There's nothing wrong with that, because we do need that as well, just to get things done. But the divine feminine, in order for us to receive the gifts that are coming in, that we're going to get more light codes and stuff like that are going to be coming in, we have to be in that divine feminine energy in order to get and understand and receive our gifts, because you can't get a gift if you're like, where's my gift at? Right.
That's right.
Grasping at air.
It comes towards you, but then also another side part of all of this is the divine feminine. We're holding the energy for Gaia. We are literally anchoring the energy right now. And so that is why it's so important for all of us, because this is an energetic thing. We're anchoring in, this is my belief, the energy for what the entire world is going through right now. And the importance of being in that energy is not, I feel like twin flame, the romantic side of it is relationships are what get us to move, right? And so, but the reason why all of this is happening so much more now, I feel like, is because the purpose of it is so much bigger. Because the Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, divine feminine type energy is what is holding us steady in the world. And why it's so important for all of us to be in that energy is to create a safe space in a world that doesn't feel safe. And we're doing that. And we're doing it from all over the world in all these different places that we live. And so that's why I view it as such an important thing, because it's not just about how do I get my twin flame back? It's not just that. Of course, that's a cherry on top if that ever happens and you guys come into union. That's amazing and wonderful. But it's just so much bigger. And, we don't really think about that part of it quite as much, but that's the real purpose behind all of it.
And I forgot to unmute myself.
I saw.
Yeah, everybody's laughing. I do want to end this. Number one, please like and subscribe for us and share. We want to do more lives. If you like that, please comment that you like that. And don't forget to join up with these 3 ladies tomorrow. They're going to be streaming on all 3 of their channels. And it's, what is the lounge name? Just so, does that somebody have the
Lighthouse Lounge Empower Hour.
Lighthouse Lounge Empower Hour. And one of the cards, as I was shuffling, that came out when we were talking about the dog thing, this card had come out, the love and compassion piece. So I was like, oh, that's the other card that jumped out was ceremony invitation. And then as I started reading, I'm like, oh yeah, we have our moon ceremony Wednesday. So this really speaks out to me regarding this. It is in sacred ceremony that we have one of the greatest opportunities to experience communion with Source, one where the perceived dualities of both heaven and earth merge into an experience of the divine. Through the use of sacred pieces that have become imbued with spiritual significance, we bring forth ceremony catalyzed by clear intention and preparation. Sacred ceremony is prayer in action. So with that, we're inviting you all to join us on Wednesday as well. We will be doing a live new moon in Libra. It's very powerful. It's very much about relationships as we're going forward. It's very much about us coming into alignment with those people that are at our vibrational level in order for us to be doing work together later on, because that job is coming very soon, I would say. So thank you all for joining us. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you Wednesday at 8 p.m. on this channel. 8 p.m. Eastern for that ceremony. Bring something to write with, and we'll help you set intentions for that day. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
I hope to see you guys tomorrow.